Before we get started, I want to say, when I see each and every one of you pop up for the Wandering the Isles fundraiser on Facebook, it is hard to explain. It's been like watching the lights go up on the audience in a way. Just to see all the people who've been listening over the years, it gives me a ton of energy and just a renewed sense of affirmation to keep going with the show. So thank you. We reached the goal of 4 days. And not to be ungrateful, but people keep messaging me to see if they can still donate. And the answer is yes, definitely. I'm just going to extend it a little longer and raise the limit. Also, no, I'm not cavalier with the money that comes in to Wandering the Isles. It goes to support things like new wireless mics and transmitters, streaming services, hosting, stuff like that. So go to the Wandering the Isles Facebook page if you enjoy this show and you feel the spirit move you. And as always, for recurring monthly support, you can hit patreon.com/Wandering the Isles. That's patreon.com/Wandering the Isles. Okay. Insert heart and prayer hands emojis. Those cover it. So this is what you have for breakfast?
Well, no, that was what I was telling you to make for your road trip.
This thing?
Yeah.
You already ate half of it.
No, I cut. Well, no, I know. Obviously, just wanted you to try it.
Welcome to Wandering the Isles. I'm Andy Farnsworth. I call the show Impulse Buys with commentary from Earth's most interesting regular people. That's Chad Neal, hardly a boilerplate human being. He's the host of a show called Cooking with Chads. It's a popular show on YouTube where he cooks with his son, Chad. I mean, it's a plant-based cooking show / modern fathering experience. And he aims it at athletes and civilians, just anybody trying to do meal prep, stuff like that. I wanted to play this excursion for you today, particularly because I was going back through some of the recordings I've done with people, and I heard this clip at the beginning. Here, just listen. I'll be back in a second. It's foreboding. I'm looking at this plate that Chad made for me of, what is this?
Tofurkey, hummus, sriracha, and mustard.
Okay. So
Look,
here's...
Dude, this is cleanly cut, dude. I didn't know if you were a germaphobe or not. You just never know.
I think I might be a little bit.
I'm kind of a germophile. I want to get all the common germs I can, so that when the big one hits, I'm ready for it.
I will not dedicate this show to talking about that which will not be named. But I do know I have to check in with what's going on, because I think what I'm checking in with is that there's nothing there, but something is there. All this stuff is happening in some sort of big boardroom behind a closed door now. And there's a lot of deliberating happening, both inside of Andy and out in the world. And I mean, I'm just coming out of a slump, to be honest with you. I mean, that thing that everybody's talking about, where we have all this time, a lot of us have a lot of time and no structure, and then we have all this stuff we want to do, but no energy to do it. For example, I'm going to learn Norwegian and Spanish. I just looked at my phone. I got a notification. I was winning on Duolingo, which is a language app if you don't know. It's awesome. There's a lot of he drinks water and eats bread. That seems to be a big theme in Norwegian. A lot of eating bread and drinking water over and over again. But Edith is killing me in Duolingo. Edith Garcia, I'm just going to call her out. I was up by 400 points last night. Thought I had a safe lead, and I'm looking, and now she's at 1076, which means she has done probably 2 hours of this. Although her last name's Garcia. I'm wondering if she is just on some sort of power trip, schooling everybody in Spanish. Hey, good for you, Edith. We all need to feel like we're winning at something. So, good for you. But now it's a chase to the death. It's a good thing to get in the way of life, right? Learning languages on an app on your phone. There's also the delivery device for all sorts of ominous pronouncements. I mean, it's like Pigs are being gassed and chickens aborted. 25, amazing. Tweets owning dads. Cheese, the new casualty, the new pandemic casualty that no one's talking about. I can't handle that. Regardless, I wanted to share this with you also because food's a big deal for me right now. I'm going off the rails. It's coming back a little bit, but I gotta be mindful, man. Chad's just kind of got a reformed nutritionist vibe to him, and I really like talking to him. And frankly, his credits are his abs. I mean, the guy he's got an amazing physique. What else do you need to show that somebody's eating well? Skin, perhaps. Good skin. Okay, and I get some real solid shopping advice about meal prep and the practicals of eating plant-based and being sensitive men. All right, here we go. Yeah, that's good. This is actually a big deal for me. Like, this is actually the equivalent of me jumping off a cliff. Eating
food that somebody else prepared?
Eating it off a plate where someone smeared something. I'm not criticizing, I'm just sharing.
I will admit that the presentation could be better.
I don't know what my deal is. All right.
I got a lot of deals, dude. I'm not here to judge.
I mean, you gotta judge. It's like gotta be tempered with your own shit, you know?
Yeah. Anybody that's like aware of their shit, not letting it turn them into an asshole, is all right by me.
Yeah, but you can be hyper aware of it, you know?
True.
All right, man. Let's get after it.
Let me just shut my garage here. Cool.
I just saw Chad's...
This is a nice truck.
Chad's code. Yeah. Yeah, I love this truck. It's just... I don't know what the deal is with it. I have no objections to it. I like it. You have to plan a lot.
Yeah.
You can't just be... And I get low blood sugar and I get fucking crazy, so I'm like, fuck it. I gotta go to whatever, Chipotle.
You can get some pretty good vegan shit at Chipotle.
Really? What would you get?
They got these things there called sofritas.
Oh, okay.
It's like, I don't know, it's like seasoned tofu, but they make it really good. And then if you don't get cheese on there, sour cream, everything there is already vegan. And
sorry if this is annoying. Like, you don't do the fish thing. Like, you are just... Did you ever do that?
No, honestly, like so I've been vegetarian for like 13 years now.
Holy shit.
And I wasn't ever really big into fish, so it just seemed easy enough for me when I first went vegetarian. It was actually kind of funny. The very first time I went vegetarian, I was 10, and I was always kind of a sensitive person anyway. Like, I've always been somewhat of a, I feel things deeply, and like the empathy. Like, I've never been able to shut that off. Like, if I see something or something comes into my space, like, I just feel what other people are feeling, like whether or not I want to. And then 10-year-olds are already kind of, when you're 10, you're kind of impressionable.
Yeah.
And I went to this, like, I was walking down Venice Beach. I don't know if you've ever been there.
Yeah.
It's like this, like, 2 miles of just weird shit, and then also people selling shit.
I did stand up on the boardwalk there one time.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. But there's also some really weird shit there.
Oh yeah.
And so I came across this thing, and it was like some kind of horrific shit. I mean, I don't even need to go into detail. And at 10, I was like, I'm done. And
Wait a minute, no, you need to go into detail.
Well, just like, it was like Animal Shock House of Horrors. That was what it was called. And I was just like, fuck this. I'm done. I was already kind of like a big animal guy, so I just decided I was going to stop right then and there. And this was back in, God, I'm hella old, so I was 10 in 1994. And shit was hard back then.
You're not old. How old is that?
35.
Yeah, I'm going to strike that from the record.
I was just watching, my roommate was just watching Friends, and they were all lamenting turning 30. And it just really made me feel fucking old. But anyway, so I didn't eat meat for like 5 years, and then when I was 15, I was doing a lot of other shit in my life. It's kind of loose convictions.
Yeah.
And so then when I kind of got my life together, and I was like 21, I met this girl, and I asked her out. I was like at some event at like the community college, and she was like, sure. And it was like a vegan thing though.
Yeah.
Like I wasn't even vegetarian, but I was like hanging out at this like vegan seminar or some shit. And it was like a Tuesday, and we were going to go out Friday. And so I thought, well, I probably should just not eat meat between now and Friday. So at least that's something.
Yeah.
And I just never went back after that.
Wow.
It's just, it's like you said, like it takes a lot of preparation to avoid like dairy and eggs. Although even that's gotten easier. Like you can go to so many random places now, and they even have like a full, vegan menu.
Yeah.
I don't call myself a vegan for a couple reasons. One, I'm not like strict about it. Like I don't like everything I make at home completely plant-based.
Yeah.
But when I go out to eat, I'm not as like strict about dairy and eggs. So sometimes I'll eat like a cheese pizza or something.
Yeah.
But like 99% of the stuff that I eat is. But also I've gotten to know a lot of people in the vegan community, and like the vocal minority there like lives up to the stereotype, and I just don't want to be associated with it.
Right. You're gonna hear about it if they're vegan.
Oh my God, it's when I used to, before I ever even met anybody that was actually vegan, people would tell me, they would be like, "Oh, you're a vegetarian. At least you're not one of those weird vegans." And I was like, that seems mean. There's just people they're doing the same thing as me but doing it better. I never really had met them. I kind of thought it was like a straw man, like
Yeah.
But I have met people that live up to every shitty stereotype that you could think of. I've seen the most vitriolic debates in this like vegan Facebook group I'm in.
Oh, I
over
think
hunting.
is it that Salt Lake City?
Salt Lake City vegan, yeah. Oh my God.
I just went on there to meet girls, and
it's great, dude. I think even people that don't have any interest in being vegan, there's something really hot about vegan girls.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know, it's just like always been my type, kind of the,
Yeah.
vegan yoga instructor.
I have major eating issues, so I've found that if I restrict myself in some way, it gives me structure to my diet.
Same.
Gluten doesn't matter. And then, also my brother died of colon cancer, and when he was dying, they tested me for celiac and all this shit. And I just was like, I don't know if this is right or wrong. I don't know, but I'm going to stop, because who fucking cares?
Yeah.
Like if you think you might die, a lot of shit comes off the table pretty easily.
Yeah.
All right, where are we going, dude?
Let's do Costco, dude.
I brought one of these.
Let's go on an adventure.
Do you want to try this?
Oh, I've had them before, but I'll certainly eat one.
You do? Do you like it?
I do. I like the other ones better.
So what this is it's Primal Spirit. It's still Primal Spirit. It's plant-based.
It kind of sounds like a cigarette.
Primal Spirits. But they're still they want to keep the meat aspect to it. But it's vegan jerky. It's hickory smoked. It says it's non-GMO. There's only soy protein in it, soy sauce, non-GMO soy. They're really pushing the non-GMO. There's wheat in this though. But yeah, it looks pretty solid. I'm eating this is the hot and spicy. It's pretty good. I just dropped. You don't want this, do you? I can feel it.
Part of me was thinking about going for it, but
You just not hungry? All right. Well, I dropped half.
help me out, dude.
What? You can see up?
No, I was just optimistic.
So we're looking on the floor of my truck for a half of a vegan meat jerky thing.
Yeah, dude. We may have to. I'm with you there. I've always had a really unhealthy relationship with food. I've always been a binge eater.
Yeah.
I've, one of those people that eats until I'm full and then keeps eating.
Yep.
And having any kind of structure helps me. When I don't have any structure whatsoever, I tend to overeat quite a bit. And then, the older I get, when I was younger, I could do that and I would get fat, but I wouldn't feel awful. But at this point in my life, if I overeat or eat a big greasy meal, I'm gonna feel like shit right away.
Yeah.
And so,
do you know that guy?
Yeah.
Is that Mike?
No.
Let me guess his name. It's Mike Carlson, who works at Vintage Auto. Do you know him?
I don't.
I don't know what. Tell me, who is that guy?
I honestly don't know his actual name.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I'm sure he's told me, but I just know him as like the grumpy old man that like always tells people to slow down.
In the neighborhood.
Mm-hmm. Did you see the goats?
No.
Oh, you'll have to note the goats.
Okay.
I feel like goats are pretty cool.
Like, do they eat them?
No, it's
Where's
just
the
this
Costco,
guy.
right?
It's just right, yeah.
Okay.
This guy has some pet goats. He has this big lot of land, and he keeps some goats to keep the grass down, so he don't have to take care of it.
So he doesn't have to mow?
Yep, that's basically it. I mean, currently, my goal is to try to. It's not going to try. Like my goal is to do a physique competition next June. So.
That's not like weightlifting.
It's kind of like, so it's at like a bodybuilding show.
Yeah.
But it's not like a criteria for people that are just massive. It's more about like, being lean and symmetrical and shapely.
Okay.
So you want some muscle mass, but you're not going to be graded because this guy's bigger than you.
It's a beauty contest.
It's a beauty contest, yeah. It's just, I mean, to be honest, it's just really like an excuse to get leaner than there's really any sane reason to do.
Well, you have something to shoot for.
Yeah.
Do you talk about being sober? Are you open about it, or we should get that straight?
Yeah, I mean, I'm sober. I don't tend to talk a ton about my recovery, but I mean.
Well, I mean, just for the purposes of this, it's good to know up front, so I don't.
The weird thing is, like, I will like tell people that I work with that I will make jokes about like all the meth I used to do. And I work in like corporate America with a bunch of like really good Mormon dudes.
What do you do?
I'm a mechanical engineer.
You are?
Yeah. I mean, that's my degree. I work in medical device.
Oh, I think you told me that. Yeah.
So I'll make these jokes about that, and then people be like, "Oh, you don't drink?" I'd be like, "No." I'd be like, "Why?" I'd be like, "I just didn't work out."
A lot of times I wonder what this podcast sounds like to people. I mean, it's my life. I've been doing this for a while, but I mean, Costco. This is quite possibly one of the least exotic destinations for most people. It's a chore, And I'm not going to argue this, but I mean, I wonder now, in this new epoch, if you will, I wonder if these recordings will be kind of a document of what it was like, just that quotidian task of going to a soulless warehouse like this. I wonder what the future anthropologists will say. Honestly, this recording was in November of 2019. It's still pretty much the same. I mean, there's the masks. That's noticeable. It looks like this other alternate universe where bank robbers go after their busy day of heisting. Just going through that drudgery of buying dinner for the kids, and their parents are thieves, who for some reason have decided to pay for everything. I mean, it's just a job, heisting. I was going to say there's no toilet paper now, but in truth, as of like a week ago, the one near me, it has since restocked to the point where, I mean, they have tons of it. If you didn't know what was happening in the world right now, if you just wandered in, it would seriously look like a place where management was at this point of like acceptance. I mean, just putting toilet paper and paper towels at the end of every aisle. Saying, yeah, we sell a lot of stuff and you're going to shit a lot. So here's a reminder to buy toilet paper at every possible opportunity. Oh, and here's a glass case with $5,000 bourbon in it. And here's some more toilet paper. Cleaning supplies, toilet paper. That makes sense. Here's a couple coffins. How about some toilet paper? Actually, I haven't seen coffins at Costco. I always think that's hilarious. But I mean, they do have them. Boy, that's dark. I mean, you're going to see more now. Okay, I was trying to keep this uplifting. I'm sorry. We should return back to November, though.
I appreciate you going to Costco with me. This is like my least favorite place in the planet to go.
I think it's good to have an accountability partner because, like I say, I mean, I'm single, and one impulse buy at Costco has 6-month ramifications.
I came in one time. I had a grocery list with 4 things on it, and I spent $600. And I couldn't.
What did you buy?
I don't even remember, but like it all felt really necessary.
Yeah, that's the thing. It tricks you. Like, you come for beans and you buy a TV.
I mean, I don't know about you, dude, but TVs there's a lot of good deals on TVs. Like, I'm probably gonna spend more than I want to here, but just don't let me buy a fucking TV, and we'll call it a win.
What are you going for?
Some spinach, and that's the other thing too. There's like 4 or 5 things I had to get from Costco, so I put off coming here as long as I can. And the hummus here is legit.
Oh, you buy the big tubs of it?
Yeah, and just the brand they have here that I've never seen anywhere else is really good.
What brand is it?
That's the thing, is I can never remember what it's called.
Sabra?
I just know it's not Sabra.
Oh, okay.
So they have 2 kinds, and it's the one that isn't Sabra.
Okay.
It's very like lemony.
Oh, okay.
I was making my own hummus at one point, and then I'm like, this is too much work. It's really easy to make, but cleaning up a blender is a pain in the ass.
Yeah. What is in it? Chickpeas?
Chickpeas.
And tahini?
Well, sometimes sometimes you put garbanzo beans in there.
Okay.
Do you know what the
Olive
difference
oil?
between a chickpea and a garbanzo bean is?
No.
I've never had a garbanzo bean on me.
Dude, that is awful. Like, I've made like 6 jokes that you haven't laughed at, and then you just put that one out there. I just now I know why none of my jokes hit on the way over here.
That's like my favorite bad joke. I have to say it every time somebody lines it up.
What's my favorite bad joke?
To be fair, I've never actually had a chickpea on me either. It's not really my thing. Like, and not to say that I'm not into some kinky weird shit, but that just ain't one of them.
Yeah, I don't think that. I missed that one too. I've been in the shower with a girl and peed.
I mean, if a girl was like pee on me, I'd pee on her, but I'm not asking her to do it back.
That Mormon family, they just heard Chad say, if I asked the girl to pee on me, or these carts, like if you're a kid, it's like a minivan.
It's so true.
You can ride in the car. There's a kid.
The best part about having a kid, when they get old enough, you can make them do shit. Like, so now when we go to the store, my son has to push the cart.
Do I need my membership too?
So we're.
You know, when you go with your backpack, on your way out, we may ask questions for that.
What's that? What do you say?
He said they may ask to look in your backpack.
Oh, that's fine.
I mean, look at that, dude. 75-inch TV for $930. Like,
Is that a good deal? That's a good deal.
ridiculous. It's so pretty too. So I get some proteins, spinach, some hummus. I get spinach and I'll throw it in because you know spinach sucks, right? Like, you can never get through a bag of spinach before it goes bad.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
Yeah, I found that.
So I'll get it and I'll put it in the freezer, and then I'll just put it in shakes.
Just the things I just want to note what we went past. They know that people like to buy impulse buys. There's TVs, a vacuum, some sort of juicer.
To put all the most expensive shit right here.
Is that true?
I think
I
so.
have that Vitamix. I wonder if you can replace the. See, I need to replace the top. They're really weird about that. All right. Chad's got his own bag.
Yeah, I do. It's insulated. I mean, they don't give you a bag here, too. That's the other thing about Costco.
I kind of like that.
And good luck ever trying to find anybody to show you where shit is.
Yeah, that's true.
See, and the other thing, too, is I always come here for groceries, but they put all the, like, appliance shit by the door. So I just walk by it instead of think about all the appliances I need to buy.
Yep. Yeah, the electric toothbrush thing. That always gets me, even though I have one.
I mean, who doesn't need a food saver?
Let's look at the blenders. Oh, Blendtec? Come on, that's for amateurs.
NutriBullet, dude.
So I was just Googling.
See, this is what I use. This shit's perfect.
You use that?
Yeah, super easy and quick to clean up. Like a normal blender, it takes more work to clean that thing than any other component of it.
I never buy this because I always associate the bullet with a vibrator. It's a vibrator, so I always, the word sounds like a nutritious vibrator.
Yeah.
So,
See, and here's the thing. Full disclosure, I would probably impulse buy this if you weren't here keeping me accountable. Because mine's
it's
pretty old.
$100.
I know.
Why is it Bluetooth?
Mine's pretty old, but it works. So I don't know why I would replace it, other than I like to replace shit when it gets old.
Yep. I was just Googling if my truck could run a Vitamix on the way home, because the stuff I've been drinking is, you mix it, but it can't. I don't think it can do it. I gotta get a heavy duty power inverter. So when you see this meat thing, do you have feelings?
I mean, not really. Every now and then I'll stop and think about it, but at some point in life, you just kind of got to learn to live your life,
Yeah.
Live your life and try to live your truth. And the funny thing I find is, a lot of people will talk to me and they'll be like, oh, I've always wanted to try this, but I don't know if I can do it. But you make me want to try it. Because I'm not out there telling them some shit. You can't tell people anything.
No, it's true.
I mean, I don't want to hear anybody trying to tell me anything.
That's the thing, man. That's the thing is I've slowed down. There's part of me that wants people to share this experience with me. It's not like vanity so much, but it is. I learned that I'm never going to talk somebody into it unless they're interested.
Nope. But the funny thing is when you just kind of do what you're doing, people are like, oh, what are you doing? And then they get curious about it, and then you share your experience about it. And that's kind of why, I used to hate talking about it, man. I didn't want to, people would ask me, why I did what I did, and I didn't want to talk to them about it.
I think that's smart. You're, keeping it precious to you.
And I mean, it's something very, personal, and it's real kind of at the core of who I am, but people want to get you into an argument about it, and I ain't really for that. But I feel like I've learned, I think the world has kind of shifted, and I've also learned a way to engage from a positive place,
It has shifted.
I mean, I think so. First off, it's gotten easier to do.
But it is interesting. Is that what you want?
No, this is the stuff. See, this is why I never remember what it's called. Because there's no freaking title on the top of it.
Oh, it's just organic
hummus classic.
It's the brand. That is yum.
Oh yeah.
But that sounds like it's ponderous, like you're thinking about it. H-U-M-M. Hum. So that's the brand. Is it onomatopoeia?
So I'm gonna get these two. Shit'll last me 3 weeks.
Wow, he just bought. So you think? That's one of your staples, is hummus
Yep, one of my
tortillas.
staples. Hummus tortilla, throw something else on there for some protein. I mean, hummus, has a little bit of protein, not a bad amount, really.
How much do you shoot for in a day? Do you have a
200 grams.
Grams. Where do you get most of it?
Oh man, that's a long story. I mean, a lot of it comes from, probably, anybody that does bodybuilding or weightlifting and is trying to get 200 grams of protein is doing some supplementation, protein powder. So probably 70 grams of that comes from protein powder. And then, there's protein in everything you eat, lentils have protein. I eat a lot of soy stuff. I know a lot of people have an opinion on that. I think
soy is estrogenic.
Yeah. The thing about nutrition science is it's such a convoluted thing. I don't remember what I'm even doing over here.
I think my body seems to like pea protein better.
Pea protein is, a lot of stuff is turning into pea protein, and I like it too.
What are we looking for?
It's a good question. Here's the other thing. This is also why I avoid shopping, because I tend to space out a lot.
Dude, I'm doing it too.
So this is kind of cool because I don't feel like we're in a hurry.
No, we're not.
I think that I don't need anything.
I think our brains are just not, dude, meant for. Floor hockey, an air hockey table, and then 2 years worth of fudge mint cookie. It's just too much. Just giant teddy bears.
Big ass teddy bear. 53-inch plush teddy. Ooh, dude, I need some Cheerios.
Do you want to hear a story about the giant teddy bear?
Yeah.
As quickly as I can.
Is it graphic?
This one girl, she was kind of flirting with me a lot. And so I was like, hey, what's your number? Let's get together. We did. And little did I know, my radar is I find people, and I go over there and she's like, yeah, just a second. And there's a giant teddy bear chair thing, like huge, like 8 feet tall. And so I'm sitting in this giant teddy bear. She's like, my friend's coming over. And this girl comes over and they go back in the back. She's like, you want some Coke? And I was like, oh, no, I'm good. But I had just gone through this breakup and I really wanted to have sex,
Yeah.
Like, not the kind I'm like horny, just like I need somebody to tell me I'm sexy or something. So, but they go in the back room and I'm just sitting there, I'm like, Andy, where are you at here, buddy? Because are you willing to like push past like all these red flags just so you can get laid? And I was like, no, I guess you're right, Andy. And I got up and I left the apartment and I didn't tell her.
You just bounced?
I just acted like I was getting a phone call and I walked outside.
Nice.
And then I ran to my car. I ran to my car. I guess that was a significant moment because it was one of those moments where I was like, dude, I know that an old version of you thinks it wants this, but it doesn't.
Well, I don't know about you, dude, but I've been sober for a while now, and I've had a lot of unsatisfying sexual, not a lot, not nearly as much as I'd probably like, but I've had enough unsatisfying sexual experiences to know, like, how I'm going to feel afterward. And at some point, I can't even get that out of my mind long enough to go through it.
Let me ask you this, do you get to the point where you are like, you're like, this is just not fulfilling?
Yeah, to be honest though, I'm kind of like, I guess you could blame this on the soy, but I've always been this way, I'm kind of more like a chick, really. I used to eat those, but they're like very buttermilky and eggy.
There's a lot of protein in them.
Yeah.
But you said what?
I don't know, the best way to explain it is, you ever see like memes where it's like guy's brain and a girl's brain?
Oh yeah.
I'm always identifying with the girl's brain.
Me too. No,
so
me
I'm
too.
like, I don't really want to just go out and get my rocks off. Like I want somebody to.
I need a connection.
I need some tender love.
Yep.
If I have that connection, then all I want to do is fuck.
Yep, I'm the same way.
But without it, I'm just like, nah. I've had a incredibly dry year. Honestly.
Dude, me too.
I've had
you posted this article that said about the longer you haven't been in a relationship, the healthier the next one's gonna be. And I wanted to comment to you. I wanted to be like that. I'm fucking LeBron James.
That's what I said, dude.
Because
I'm gonna be the GOAT. And I don't know if that shit's true, but I really needed to like believe it in that moment.
I think it might be true because you're starting. It's not that you're single because you can't find somebody. You're a handsome, attractive dude. You've got some like spiritual life. You're aware. You're mindful. You got all these good qualities, but you're probably screening now.
Yep, it's true, man. And the thing is, like, you'd think honestly, like, I think I've had sex with one woman 4 times this whole calendar year.
Yeah.
And you would think at that point I would be like ready to drop my standards and just do whatever, and it just doesn't work like that.
Are these kind of tortillas? That's too many.
So this is corn, dude.
But I kind of want corn.
I think so, yeah.
You say they don't taste as good?
No, I think they're fine. They're not like
the texture.
They're gonna fall apart a little bit on you.
This is also 3 years worth of fucking tortillas, and it's only $3.59. So this is like
you could feed the neighborhood.
But
it's a struggle,
that's
dude.
Too much. I'm gonna throw out most of it.
Tortillas do last a long time.
Do they?
I'm not trying to talk you into buying something here because I know that we came in here to help each other out.
No, I kind of need something, but
corn tortillas are good, dude. They just they're just
how much is the
usual
usual thing of them?
I don't know. I think that's a pretty good fucking deal, honestly. Because I think you're gonna usually spend like $3 on it.
All right. Do you have tofurkey here?
No, but I want to stop at Sprouts on the way out. Yeah.
Right. So here,
I got a plan here.
Yeah, it's been dry for me too, man. And
It's so frustrating because, and that's the other part of it, right? It's like I've met people that felt a lot of chemistry for, and I met people that I was compatible with on all those different levels. But trying to find both of them together, it seems like impossible.
Do you think it's because they're ultimately impossible to have together?
I don't know, man. I like that's something that I just can't bring myself to believe.
I hope so too. I really have hope.
And honestly, I just think it's because I'm kind of a fucking weirdo. Like
Here's
in a
what
really
I
good
think.
way, but
Here's what I think. You exist. I
do.
exist. So that must exist somewhere else. Someone else must possess the same thing. And I would fuck me now.
dude, I would fuck the shit out of me now, okay? I honestly do believe that like the next relationship that I have, and I'm going to use the term when, not if, because we're going to be positive here on this podcast.
No, it is a win.
I'm gonna kick some ass.
Yeah.
Like I'm gonna be pretty good at it.
Yep.
Because I've learned to be pretty happy with my life. You know.
Are we checking out now?
Yeah, but this is what I came for. I don't know if you want to note this, but we did a lot of wandering that I wasn't even really sure. I just wanted to wander down the aisles.
Yeah.
See if I need anything. So this is my protein that I get.
Chad's buying like 4 gallons
sale,
of
dude.
protein. You know what I buy here though is collagen, actually.
You got time to get it, man. I'm gonna get in line.
Yeah, I get loopy. I'm loopy in here.
It takes an incredible amount of emotional energy.
You get
Like the whole process,
overwhelmed.
right? Like we're this big ass parking lot. It takes forever to get into. Then you gotta walk through the door. And you gotta haul this big cart around.
So Chad's got 2 big boxes of Cheerios, a bunch of protein, spinach, some really beautiful apples in plastic cases. They're so beautiful they were put in cases.
Sure.
Huge thing of hummus,
Skinny Pop.
skinny pop popcorn.
This shit's the bomb too.
Yeah. See, I would eat that whole bag. That's like a...
Well, I think this is the. Oh shit! I didn't get the individually wrapped one. Well, yeah, that won't last very long.
Thank you.
The other thing that's weird, dude, is think about how much of the stuff that I do is motivated by sex.
Oh, yeah.
Maybe not sex, but
No.
romance.
I got ya.
Would I care that much about fitness? I'd like to hope so, but I don't know.
It's probably boils down to the same. But don't you think like being your best self is connected to that too, somehow?
I think so. I think, when I got married when I was 24, and a lot of people, in this state, it's weird. Like I never grew up Mormon, but the whole culture of getting married young here just permeates everywhere. 24 seemed like a really good time to get married. And in most places around the country, that's kind of, bananas.
Yeah, totally.
And you just sort of stop. I still let you stop trying, but you just sort of stop doing certain levels of self-actualization. And then all of a sudden, I get divorced and thrown out in the world again and have to do stuff for the first time at the age of 27. It's super weird. So you learn a lot about yourself. And I have this I have a lot of abandonment issues.
We're similar. We have some similar wiring.
We really do. I would just like to say that Annie is my favorite person that I don't really know that well. Because I think this is probably the longest time we've ever spent together. But the very first time I met him, I was like, this is my people.
Yeah, same. You want to put it in the back?
Sure.
We can put it in the cab.
That'll be good because it'll keep it cold.
You can put it in the cab too if you're worried.
No. The colder some of this shit stays, the better, right? I don't think anybody's gonna steal our food.
And if they do, it's God bless you. If you need to steal food, that's where I'm at.
I'd be sad about the fact that I would have to go back to Costco, but that'd be the extent of it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go put this back, dude. I feel like that's the thing. Dropped off the cart. I feel like it's one of those things I do. It makes me feel a little bit better about all the other shitty stuff I do,
He's 20 yards away, by the way.
I don't know, did you watch my YouTube video?
I did.
So, it took me forever to bleep out all those swear words. That should be a lot easier. There should be one button, boom. It does not work like that.
Why did you bleep him out?
Because my son wanted to be able to show his friends.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah.
How old's your son?
He's 10. And he's like, this is the thing about him. I mean, his mom's pretty mild-tempered, but he is like this really good, rule-following kid, never swears. You know, like we were doing our little script for the intro, and I was like, you know, making a joke for him to say where it was like, this isn't Hell's Kitchen. And he's like, Dad, I can't say that. It's like, okay. That's why he says this is Bleep's Kitchen. I don't know if you...
He can't say hell?
No, dude, he's a good kid, man. And it's the funniest shit. And sometimes I'll try to talk him into stuff. I'll be like, dude, let's just, you know, just don't say anything, we'll be good. Now you want to go straight.
Is he LDS?
No.
He just has a strong moral compass.
He's just a little friggin' angel, dude. I mean, to be honest, I'll tell you, this is my thought. I think that he is a living example of the miracle of recovery, because both of his parents are fucking train wrecks, okay? I mean, they're not now, but like we were. Like, you know, and I was 10, dude. I was, like, by his age, I had started drinking and started smoking dope, and I had the mouth of a sailor. You know, and I was also emotionally just completely whacked. I mean, you know, I had a lot of emotional issues anyway, and then my dad committed suicide while I was in the room when I was 8, you know, so by the time I found drugs and alcohol, I was at 10, I was already just kind of like, oh my God, I need something. Like, this shit saved my life. Yeah. So this kid is just this innocent kid. I think he still may believe in Santa. I'm not sure. I think we're at that spot. There's this weird, awkward spot where, like, we don't want to tell him that Santa's not real, but he doesn't want to, and I think he knows, but he doesn't have the heart to tell us that he doesn't believe, so we're all just pretending. And it's just like some rite of passage.
There's Santa in the room, dude.
So he's just like this sweet-hearted little dude, man, and like he's so much, you know, I mean, he's got a lot of my personality too, but he somehow managed to avoid almost all the worst parts of my personality, and it just, to me, it's just like just an example of the miracle of this deal. Because I mean, there's just no human reason that I have this son who is as awesome as he is, you know. Sometimes I'm like, dude, you gotta go out and get in trouble a little bit, you know.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, really? Like,
he might.
He'll sooner than later. That's the thing I worry about sometimes. Him just going like full like 180.
Yeah.
But I don't think he will. He's just a good kid.
My parents, I didn't even know that addiction or alcoholism, they were very abstract concepts. It was always framed in a religious context, like the sinful life, and then you find Jesus. I think Jesus would be like, yeah, no, I'm great, but you need to go to a 12-step road. You
got some issues, son. So the next place we're going to go is going to be on your right here, coming up soon after that, Home Good.
What?
It's called Sprouts.
Oh, Sprouts. Yeah, I like Sprouts.
Sprouts is legit.
Yeah.
Sprouts is probably one of my favorite places. You know, I'll tell you one thing, and maybe this is just sort of me being like boo-hoo, like it's harder for me, but I don't think people appreciate how much more difficult being a single parent and dating can be. And
yeah,
I read this article once that said they did this study, this sort of meta study on Tinder or some shit, and that like men that had, a child in their profile or said that they had a child, women were more likely to swipe right on them.
Oh, interesting.
And the opposite was true for like men, were less likely.
Yeah.
Because I think a lot of women like the idea of like a parent, like, oh, this is a guy that's got the maturity and the responsibility and the caringness that I want. But the reality of dating somebody that has a child when you don't, it's rough. My last relationship was like that. Like, we had the greatest chemistry. Like, everything was really good when we were together, but our lives just did not mesh. And she just got married in September.
Wow.
So that was the last girlfriend I had is already married.
Oh, I should note we are in Sprouts right now. We're in a different store.
This is like this is why I wanted to come here second, because like the vibe here and the emotional energy here is so much better.
Yeah, I feel more calm here right now.
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm gonna have to encounter a television.
Well, and if you see if you see something that you like, so do you know that person?
I do.
Wow, dude, I'm out here like a celebrity.
What?
I feel like I'm out in the world with a celebrity. How do you know?
People know me sometimes. I mean, it is weird. Have you drank oat milk?
No, I've heard people rant about it though. Is it good?
Dude, it is incredible.
I might get some then.
Dude, I highly recommend. Get the full fat kind. It is. Here, right here. This is the brand I get. Dude, you won't be disappointed in this. You're going to think it's not real. The blue, get the blue one.
The blue one?
Yeah.
Full fat, huh? Just go for it.
You can use that as creamer too if you want.
Yeah, all I did was
Ooh, I like that idea.
I just stuck them to the roof of the cooler.
So this is the other thing that I get here, dude. This stuff called Enlighten. Like
Dairy-free almond milk
Fuck, they're out of my favorite flavor.
popsicles or creamsicle. What are these called? Dessert sticks?
Ice cream bars?
Ice cream bars. There, I wasn't looking. I didn't have the right word.
Yeah, so there's 90 calories in one bar. And because I used to get the pints, but then the problem with the pint is you open the whole pint.
These Jets got 4 boxes of these.
I would have 8 if they had the other flavor there I get. So every night I eat 2 of these with peanut butter.
Like on them?
Uh-huh.
You put peanut butter on them?
Yeah, I put peanut butter on everything.
I like the almond butter. Have you had cashew butter?
No.
They make it. Justin's, that almond butter brand, they make it.
Is it, you like that, huh?
It's like $12.
I just love peanut butter, dude. I'll get that big ass thing from Costco, the Adams All Natural. And that stuff will satisfy me. I think there's really only one other thing I need from here. So this is like my favorite thing lately is these no-cal bars. They're freaking legit.
They're snack bars, protein bars? No dairy in them?
No dairy, and they only got 1 gram of sugar because they're sweetened with erythritol. Which, by the way, if you have anything with erythritol in it, you may not want to take it through security at the airport.
Why?
So I learned that the hard way when the protein powder that I had got flagged. And they pulled, I don't know if you've ever had random enhanced screening and they wipe you down with that little
Yeah, I
thing.
have.
Have you ever had a false positive?
I did one of these podcasts and we shot guns, and a week later, he had ridden in the passenger seat. A week later,
The residue?
I had touched the fucking seatbelt, and it set off a false positive. And they did the fucking business on me, dude.
The full Monty,
The one where they have to keep asking you, dude, I'm about to touch you in a way, and they're like, you have to say yes.
Yeah.
Or you don't have to, but you realize you're assenting to me touching your cock is what they're asking.
Well, and it's a kind of a terrifying moment because you're like, I know I don't have any explosives. But what if they never believe that?
Yeah.
Because the machine came up positive twice, and then they had to bring this other guy out, and he pulled everything out, and he set it out, and he dropped this little stuff in it, and he said basically erythritol is also used to make explosives. It's interesting. The problem with fasting and stuff like that is, it's I finally had to find a sustainable diet. Something that I could keep to long term, because I got really good at going on particular diets, but then they were never sustainable.
Yep. That's why I wanted to talk to you, because I'm I feel like you got to figure it out a little bit.
You got what you got?
I got what I got. Chad got oat milk, dairy-free soy creamer, these fancy no-cal. He buys a whole box, so this guy knows what he's doing. What do you get? How many are in here?
I don't even know, 12?
And so you got the tofurkey. So this is smart though. You're making decisions. You know what you want. You're committing.
I've been eating this way long enough that I kind of know what to get. I mean, I literally eat probably this, other than lunch, which I'll vary from week to week, although it's kind of the same couple different things. I say the same thing every day. But I eat 6 to 7 times a day. Right, like a hobbit.
You're supposed to, right? That's better.
Yeah. I mean, that's one way, that's the best way that's ever worked for me. It gets my metabolism revved up. And then the cool thing is 2 hours have gone by, and the last thing I ate was satisfying, but 2 hours later, I'm already hungry again. So every time I eat, I'm hungry. And if you're hungry every time you eat, everything's better.
It's true. Will you, do you do that, don't eat after 8, don't eat before noon, intermittent stuff?
I've tried that, and I think there's a lot of good science behind it, but I found it to be miserable.
It's just hard.
I like food.
I like it at night, and that's actually a problem for me.
That's, dude, I cannot tell you how many days that I've had a perfect eating day until 9:30 at night and then just gone off. But that's why, and that's one of the reasons, like, when I got put on, like, when I started working with a nutrition coach, he told me to get this stuff and eat it every night. And it was just because I knew I had, like, a treat every night. Like, my brain wouldn't feel, like, the need for it.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah. And 90 calories is pretty, you know, and these are contained, right? This is self-contained unit, so, like, it's a lot easier for me to only eat one of them.
That doesn't stop me.
Or 2 of them. No, it doesn't always stop me either, but I don't know. I've gotten leaner than I ever been before this year. And, you know, here's the thing, right? People always say, like, you know, abs aren't going to make you happy. But I'm like, probably true, but I'm going to find that shit out in my fucking self.
Right. I always say I'd like to be miserable in the way these people are talking about.
Yeah, like,
I'll figure it out. Once I have a yacht and I'm depression.
If I'm going to be depressed anyway, I might as well be depressed and sexy.
Yep. I did good today. I didn't buy anything at Costco. I got this.
You spent $7.
I need to eat this. It's a primal vegan jerky. There must have been plant-based cave people.
Yeah, dude.
That's primal.
We're mostly hunter-gatherers.
That's the gathering, though. You don't hunt plants. I guess you do hunt plants.
Well, I mean, the thing is, though, right, is like humans are omnivores. They've adapted to be able to eat in different settings, but you look at most of our physiological markers, like our teeth and the length of our intestines, and they align more with herbivores.
Really?
Yeah. So one thing I want to ask you, how did you get into, like, this and, like, art? Because I mean, the thing is like, it takes a tremendous amount of something to say, I'm going to try to do something like this. I'm going to try to do comedy. I'm going to try to do a podcast. I'm going to put aside all my own, like, insecurity that I've lived my whole life with and pretend that I have something people want to offer and put in the work for it. And
yeah,
I just think that's really fascinating to me.
It's always, you're kind of reassessing that every time you do it. When my brother died and I was getting sober, I was just like, I started looking at my life like, well, if I died in 4 years, you know how sometimes people are like, well, if you died tomorrow, how would you live? Mm-hmm. There's that question, but then if you knew you were going to die in 4 years, it's a different question. Because you're going to have to pick something a little bit more. You can't, water ski
it's not like
drunk every day or whatever. But, so that...
What's happening?
Oh, I just had the fucking gas pedal.
That was you.
That may be one reason why I'm pursuing stuff like this. I'm not totally with it all the time.
No, me neither, man. I did a lot of drugs in my formative years, dude. Like, my brain only ever healed so much.
Yeah, my short-term memory. I mean, it's a combination of, like, the world feeling. It feels like when I've taken jobs that, like, my heart isn't in it, like, it's not being pretentious or a diva. I just can't do it. I don't succeed at it. I feel like this really false person or whatever. And then just kind of this nagging, really, not just nagging, like, I've always wanted to do comedy my whole life, and then I just fell in love with it, which is kind of brutal. But yeah, I don't know what's next, and it goes lockstep with my recovery often because I'm a biographical comedian, so kind of where I'm at is where I'm at.
Yeah.
And my jokes have to catch up to me. So... I don't know. It's like I never think I'll be funny again. Every step I make in sobriety, I'm like, I'm not funny anymore. Or and it's not just being funny, like I need the affirmation. It's like, for me, it's a warning sign if I can't kind of laugh about where I'm at, because that's a problem.
Yeah.
I feel like I can be in this really kind of spiritual, in the clouds kind of place, but if I'm not really recognizing my humanity... I think that's what comedy is in some ways. It's like God and people just thumb wrestling, because you're human, and like your humanity is what's funny. So, I don't know. But so anyway, yeah, I love comedy, man. It's the best, and it's not just about like It's just about connecting to a big... It's the same thing as, I'm sure you feel this in talking in a meeting. It feels... There's just something about connecting with the room. There you go. That's it.
Yep.
And
I could be in a room full of people and feel alone as fuck.
Yep.
I don't know. I just ask him because I know, I mean, there's this part of you that has, like, you have to believe, like, this is something worthwhile. Like, people want to listen to this. People want to see it. You can't think any other way. You have to you should have to go into it and be like, all that doubt, don't have time for it, you know? And the worst thing that can happen is that you fail.
Yeah. Well, I think it's perpetual failure, but you just get used to how to fail better.
Fail forward.
Yeah. And also, I think I have to kind of, not to be too pretentious, but I'm constantly negotiating with whatever my higher power is about it, because when I'm in this place of ego, it sucks. It always, everything I do sucks. The world just keeps slamming the door shut on me. But when I'm in the right place, like, it's crazy, dude. I get all these opportunities. But yeah, so I don't know. I think I have all those same thoughts you're expressing always. They never leave. But something else kind of is just compelling you to keep doing it.
Going for it anyway. I think that's what being, like, growth, spiritual growth.
Yeah.
About. Like, I'm afraid. I'm afraid I'm not enough. But I'm gonna fucking go out there anyway.
That's it.
No, you want to go straight here, and then you're going to turn left at that next light.
That is literally a diamond warehouse. Shane Did you see that? That is a giant jewelry warehouse.
Giant, like, seems like a security risk.
Everything, yeah.
But I'm really excited about this YouTube channel me and my son have got. And I'm like, you know what? I'm just going to go and pretend like this is a thing. You're going to turn left here. And just fuck it. Like, it probably won't be a thing, but it could be a thing because I think we've got, you know, a lot of things going for us. A lot of people want to, you know, they want to try different stuff, right? They want to try different plant-based stuff, but it seems really hard. And you go online and, you know, all these, like, freaking vegan YouTube channels, just stuff that you feel like you need a degree to make. And I'm just like, no, I'm a freaking simp in the kitchen. Like, if I can make something, you can make it.
Yeah.
And you know, and I've learned a lot of great tips and tricks for how to do that. You know, I mean, I get 200 grams of protein in a day on a plant-based diet. It's pretty, you know, a lot of people are like, how, you know.
And you lift and stuff.
And I lift and stuff.
And that's always one of the myths.
I lift,
that
bro.
You can't, like, you can't lift if you don't eat meat.
You can't. Yeah, like, people say, well, people have to think you can be like a runner. I know it's a little bit farther down. I'll tell you when we get close to it. People think you can be a runner or skinny or whatever, and that you can't be a bodybuilder.
Yeah.
And it's like, and I will use that and as an excuse to be like, the best thing I can do to change people's minds about eating plant-based is just to get shredded as fuck.
Well, why do you want to change people's minds about it?
It is a cause that I care about. You know, I do want to change the world, but I also know the only way to do that is to inspire. So, and I think, you know, if I can just get, like, I guess the point is that I really just want an excuse to put a lot of effort into looking better, because I keep thinking that that'll make me feel better.
It does, though.
But this allows me to attach a noble purpose to it, right? Like, I'm doing this show for the animals.
That's funny. I love that.
And, like, even though I'm aware of that, and, like, I'm 100% aware of it, I still fall prey to it. That's what's so fucking funny about, like, self-deception. Like, I know that it's bullshit, but it still feels comforting to buy into it.
Yeah, dude. There's some little dog in Vietnam right now that, I don't know, in some way you may have saved its life.
Well, I mean, you know, I would say to people that are like, well, I don't know how to change everything overnight. I'd be like, right, well, just look, go make a plant-based lunch. Go watch my show and make that and eat it every day for lunch. I mean, that's just, you know, if you're trying to, it's just like getting sober, right? Like, with getting sober, you have to kind of do it all at once. But a lot of things, like a huge drastic change overnight, nobody's going to be successful at that.
Yeah.
And so it's like, just start with a meal. One meal at a time, you know? And, like, get excited about that, because there's a lot of freaking good vegan food out there. When you're on the road, dude, Burger King.
The Impossible thing.
Oh my God, dude, that shit's so good.
It's good?
It's so good. I think it's good, and I've talked to some Omnis that think it sucks, but I've also talked to a number of others that are like, it tastes just like a Whopper to me. So I haven't had a Whopper in 14 years, so my ability to compare it may not be so great, but it is fucking delicious.
Okay, cool. I'll try that. I eat those Beyond Meat burgers.
Oh yeah, those are good too.
They're incredible.
I've got to go to Carl's Jr. at some point.
I just buy them at Whole Foods, and they're actually pretty cheap. They're like $5 for 2 of them.
Yeah, those are pretty good too.
And I think they're pea protein or whatever. All right, let's take your groceries in.
All right, let's do it.
I just fucked up the apple situation. We want it out.
Kind of fucked up those apples. That shit was funny.
These are Honeycrisp apples. They got a fucking ego. They got an attitude. Like, oh, we're in place. All right, buddy.
Okay, man. I'm gonna give you these two, dude.
Okay. These are the no cowboy.
Yeah, dude. Now listen.
Lemon meringue.
They're really good, but they're
fudge.
kind of dry. So make sure you got something to drink.
Okay.
I've almost choked on them.
All right, buddy.
All right, brother.
Thanks for doing that.
Okay, man. Yeah, dude, that was fun.
That was fun.
It was fun getting to know you, man.
You too. We'll hang out again soon.
I hope so.
This is how I have to be friends with people. I have to fucking interview them first.
Did you get the job?
Chad got the job. Definitely. We rarely talk, but I like to know he's there. I do that. I find great people, and I feel like we'll be friends, genuinely, and then I text him once a year. It's like I'm stockpiling favors for a wedding someday. Again, that was Chad Neal, host of Cooking with Chads on YouTube. It is a non-pretentious, plant-based cooking show where he cooks with his son Chad, which I love that. Go check it out on YouTube or follow his show on Instagram at PlantBasedChad. And here's a bunch of credits and housekeeping, but please don't leave yet. Come here. Let me put my virtual arm around you since we can't do that in real life. It's weird to do this with my arm on you, but you can still donate to the fundraiser. Jesus fucking Christ. You can still donate to the fundraiser on Facebook. Just search for the Wandering the Isles page over there on Facebook. And as always, you can go to patreon.com/Wandering the Isles, patreon.com/Wandering the Isles. I've said the name of this show 100 times in this show, but go to the Wandering the Isles Facebook page. And frankly, not to be too amateur about this, but as a temporary thing, you can also just Venmo me directly at Andy Farnsworth-1. That's Andy-Farnsworth-1. I'm the first Andy Farnsworth on Venmo. What do you know? That's just for if you don't like giving Facebook any more information than they already have. A lot of the music you hear in the show, that's the generous creative contribution of a guy named Aaron Campbell. He lives out in Pennsylvania. You should know that. He is an amazing bluegrass musician. And the other more spacey stuff, ambient music, is by Future Sequence. Give us a review on iTunes if you can't donate or just for kicks. That helps a ton. You can also follow the show on Instagram at Wandering Isles. There's no "the" on the Instagram one. Are you still there? Come here. Okay, I'll take my arm off of you. Kiss. Kiss on the cheek. Remember that? How about on the lips? Let's do it.